Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Dignay Team Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include Kuki MLA's hope for peace after presidents ruled in Manipur, Ari's political roadmap. Kuki-Zo Council announces peaceful rally on February 18 demanding separate administration. India begins biometric tracking at Myanmar borders, 7,000 crossers registered. News in details. 10 Kuki MLAs of Manipur welcomed the center's decision to place the State Assembly under suspended animation, further urging the government of India to chart out a comprehensive political roadmap for lasting peace and justice. In a joint statement, the MLAs emphasized the urgency of a negotiated settlement to address the deep-rooted crisis and called for time-bound measures to alleviate the suffering of conflict-affected and internally displaced people. With ethnic tensions continuing to grip the state, the legislators underscore the need for decisive intervention from New Delhi to restore normalcy and protect the rights of their community. Their appeal signals a growing demand for a political resolution that ensures stability and security for all affected populations. As the situation in Manipur remains precarious, all eyes are now on the center's next move in shaping the future of the troubled state. We, while acknowledging the center's decision to place the assembly under suspended animation, express hope that the government of India would lay out a comprehensive political roadmap for peace and justice under a negotiated settlement, the statement said. President's rule was imposed in Manipur on Thursday and the State Assembly put under suspended animation days after Chief Minister N. Biren Singh resigned from his post. We also look forward to time-bound measures to end the sufferings that the conflict-affected and internally displaced people continue to undergo, the MLA said. Kuki Council KC has announced a peaceful rally for immediate political solution on February 18 across all Kuki inhabited districts, aimed at urging the central government to address their long-standing demand for a separate administration, union territory with legislature. The decision was taken during the Kuki Council's recent meeting, held in Churachandpur on February 8 and 11. The council has entrusted several frontal organizations to lead the rally in their respective regions. Churachandpur, under the aegis of Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF. Kangpopi, led by Committee on Tribal Unity Kotu and Kuki in Cedar Hills. Firjol and Jiribam, led by Indigenous Tribes Advocacy Committee ITAC, Kuki in Jiribam, and allied bodies. Tengnopal, More, Underhill Tribal Council HTC. Chandil, led by Kuki in Chandil and Kuki Chief Association. Delhi and NCR, organized by KSO Delhi and NCR and Kuki Women's Forum Delhi. The rally is designed to be completely peaceful and disciplined, emphasizing the community's commitment to a democratic resolution. The key demands include formal discussion of the Kuki issue in Parliament, grant of separate administration, union territory with legislature. No solution, no peace. No border fencing without a political solution. Justice for the leaked Biren audio tapes. An advisory for participants has also been issued. The rally will be conducted peacefully with no violent demonstrations or hate speech or mentioning of individual names. Indian flags will be prominently displayed to emphasize the community's commitment to democratic process. Protesters are encouraged to wear black attire as a mark of unity and resistance. A command banner, digital visuals, press statement, and memorandum will be provided by Kuki Council to ensure uniformity in the message. A memorandum will be submitted to the Home Minister, with each district forwarding their copy through the respective Deputy Commissioner. The Kuki Council has called upon all community organizations and supporters to join the rally and demonstrate unwavering solidarity in their quest for justice and self-governance. The protest is expected to be one of the most organized and unified demonstrations in the ongoing movement for a separate administration. As senior Bharatiya Janata Party BJP MLA of Manipur, Susindro Meitei on February 15 claimed that people of the state believe that the party failed to form a new ministry after the resignation of Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, as there were too many contenders for the chair. Susindro Meitei, who was a minister in the Biren Singh cabinet and considered a close aide of him, told reporters that the CM resigned probably with the hope that this move would help bring peace in the ethnic violence hit state. Amid rumblings within the state, BJP is seeking a change of leadership in Manipur. Singh, who has been heading the government in Manipur since 2017, resigned on February 9 evening, hours after returning from Delhi, where he met with Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The Saffron Party has 37 MLAs in the 60-member assembly. Sambit Patra, the BJP's Northeast in charge, held several rounds of meetings with MLAs for 3 days to tide over the leadership crisis. However, on February 13, President's rule was imposed in Manipur and the assembly was put under suspended animation. There must be a reason for his resignation. It is also possible that he resigned with the belief that it would help restore normalcy in the state. It is just my assumption. However, the common belief is that the government fell apart due to the desire among a number of legislators for the CM post, Meitei said. It was an unfortunate situation, added the former Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution Minister. Every legislator is qualified to become the chief minister, but the CM's post is just one. Hence, sacrifice is needed, he said. Manipur Congress President Kesam Megatandra had also claimed on Friday that a leadership crisis within the BJP and its failure to reach a consensus on a chief ministerial candidate led to the imposition of the president's rule. The BJP MLA claimed that the clashes between Meitei and Kuki communities in the state were sometimes engineered at the behest of some quarters. There have been times when peace has been hijacked. When there are signs of peace, some unknown elements trigger fresh violence with gun and bomb attacks, Meitei said. The violence so far left over 250 people dead and thousands homeless since May 2023. Joint security forces in Manipur dismantled volunteer checkposts at Kaprang and Escort Lane in Churachandpur district along National Highway 2 on February 15th. Taking to its official X-handle, the Manipur police stated that the checkposts, which had been established at the onset of the conflict, were no longer necessary due to the considerable improvement in the security situation in the area. Following the dismantling, security forces have taken control of these locations, ensuring the free movement of civilian vehicles. Authorities emphasize their ongoing commitment to maintaining order and safety along the highways. Law enforcement agencies are dedicated to ensuring a secure environment for the public and are closely monitoring the situation. In another operation, the police conducted a surprise checking of tinted or black films being sold at a car and accessory shops located at MG Avenue, Tangal Bazar Undercity Police Station in Fal West District. During the checking, 10 black film rolls were detected from 3 shops and brought to the police station in the city. Further, the shop's owner were directed not to sell black film rolls in future. As part of the stricter free movement regime that is now in place at the border with Myanmar, India is learned to have allowed the movement of 7,000 people from the neighboring country after collecting their documents as well as biometric details, which are linked to the National Data Center. Last year, the center had announced that it would scrap the FMR but faced a backlash not just from civil society but also from across the political spectrum, including the BJP in Nagaland and Mizoram. Manipur's Kuki and Naga communities also exposed the move, with resistance continuing against its announcement. The center in late December sent communications to the governments of Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland, directing them to implement an amended and firmer FMR instead. As senior Assam Rifle officers said, the entry of people from Myanmar is currently being regulated from 22 border points, which will be increased to 43. Security personnel are issuing boulder passes after collecting their biometric details, address, and credentials, said the officer. According to the amended FMR protocol, in place since December, people from either country have to produce proof of residence within 10 km of the boulder issued by the local police station, village chief, or any government-recognized authority. After they present these, the Assam Rifles personnel take their photographs and biometric details, including fingerprints, and issue them a boulder pass valid for 7 days, said the officer. We are collecting their details because we should know who is coming and staying in our areas. If anyone commits anything wrong, we should know their whereabouts, the officer said. This single entry pass is usable for 7 days and within 10 km of the boulder. Users have to deposit this pass at the same crossing point from which they entered. They are not interested in going to other areas because they are mainly coming to meet their relatives, the officer said. While the center's announcement to scrap the FMR had been welcomed by the Manipur government, it was met with stiff opposition from Mizoram and Nagaland. The state government had held alleged illegal immigration from Myanmar as one of the prime factors responsible for the ethnic conflict between Meiteis and Kukis since May 2023. India shares a 1,643 km border with Myanmar, which passes through Arunachal Pradesh 520 km, Nagaland 215 km, Manipur 398 km, and Mizoram 510 km. Demarcation of 1,472 km of the border has been completed. Construction work on 2 pilot projects of hybrid surveillance systems has been awarded to the Assam Rifles and work is in progress. The Manipur police on February 15 launched a slew of operations leading to the arrest of 5 active militants from different proscribed groups. 4 active members of the proscribed outfit Kangleipak Communist Party KCPPWG group were arrested from Huikap village near oil pump Andro police station in Falis district. The 4 arrested identified as Chapha Mayum Sundar Singh 39, Nongthombam Boinao Meitei 48, Leichombam Ibesana Devi 26, and Maibam Tony Chanu 23 were arrested for involvement in extortion of money and transportation of arms and ammunition. The following items were seized from their possession: 2 numbers of 9mm pistol with 2 magazines, 10 numbers of 9mm live ammunitions, 1 number of 0.32 live ammunitions, some incriminating documents and booklets, 7 numbers of mobile phones, 1 sling bag, and 2 numbers of ID card. In another operation on the same day, the Bisnupur District Police arrested 1 active cadre of Pre-Pak Pro for involvement in extortion and other illegal activities. The individual identified as Yum Lembam Arun Kumar Singh 36 was held from Oksongbung Maning Laikai under Moirang Police Station, Bisnupur District. The following items were seized from his possession: 1 mobile phone with an Airtel SIM and an Aadhaar card. At least 5,332 people have died in Mizoram due to HIV infection since October 1990, when the first HIV case was detected, while the total number of HIV-infected people till 2023-24 is 31,676, according to Mizoram State AIDS Control Society (MSSCS) officials on Thursday. The officials gave the report at an event on the International Condom Day, jointly organized by the MSSCS, AIDS Healthcare Foundation (AHF), Indian Cares and Samaritan Society of Mizoram (SSM) in Aizawl. According to the report, 29,123 positives are identified as general claims, while 2,553 people are identified in pregnant women or antenatal care profile tests. Those who have died due to HIV infections comprises of 3,523 males, 1,722 females, and 87 children, the report said. MSSCS Project Director Jane R. Rolte, while launching Generation C program at the event, said 1,669 new HIV positive cases have been detected in the state during the past 10 months, of which 1,015 got infected through unsafe sex, that is 60.81%. Encouraging the use of condom is not encouraging sex, but to ensure safe sex, royalty said. Strong tremors were felt in Delhi and its adjoining areas after a 4.0 magnitude earthquake struck the national capital this morning. There were no immediate reports of any damage or injuries. The National Center for Seismology (NCS), the nodal agency of the Government of India for monitoring earthquake activity in the country, said the epicenter was New Delhi. The earthquake struck at a focal depth of 5 kilometers at 5:36 a.m., the NSC said. An official told the news agency PTI that the epicenter was near Durgabai Deshmukh College of Special Education in Daula Kund. That region, which has a lake nearby, has been experiencing smaller, low-magnitude quakes once every 2 to 3 years. It recorded an earthquake of 3.3 magnitude in 2015, he said. The official also added that a loud sound was heard when the earthquake hit Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged the residents of Delhi and nearby areas to stay calm and follow safety precautions following the earthquake, which prompted people in the capital, Noida, Greater Noida, and Ghaziabad to rush out of their homes. Tremors were felt in Delhi and nearby areas, urging everyone to stay calm and following safety precautions, staying alert for possible aftershocks. Authorities are keeping a close watch on the situation, he wrote in a post on X. Acting Delhi Chief Minister Atishi said a strong earthquake just hit Delhi and prayed that everyone was safe. In a post on X, the Delhi police said, "We hope you all are safe, Delhi." It also urged citizens to call on the emergency 112 helpline for emergencies. In a post on X, the Delhi police said, "We hope you all are safe, Delhi." It also urged citizens to call on the emergency 112 helpline for emergencies. A passenger waiting for his train at the station said it felt like a train was running here underground. A resident of Ghaziabad said the tremors were so strong and that he had never felt like this before. The entire building was shaking, he said. Delhi is prone to earthquake as it is located in high seismic zone, Zone 4 of the Bureau of Indian Standards BIS seismic zonation map. On January 23, strong tremors were felt across Delhi NCR after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck China's Xinjiang at a depth of 80 kilometers. 2 weeks before that, mild tremors were last felt in Delhi and nearby areas on January 11 after a 6.1 magnitude earthquake struck Afghanistan. The Indian Army on Sunday opened a retaliatory fire across the line of control at Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch sector at the Pakistani troops after the latter opened small arms fire on Indian posts, reported ANI. According to the details, the incident occurred at around 11 a.m. on 16 February. No casualty was reported on either side, added the report. At about 11 a.m. today, Pakistan troops opened small arms fire on Indian posts across LOC in Poonch sector JNK. The fire was retaliated appropriately by the Indian Army. No casualty to on-site, and I quoted Army officials as saying, the following incident took place days after the Army reaffirmed that the ceasefire agreement along the LOC remains intact, despite occasional stray firing incidents. In the meantime, a joint search operation of Romeo Force and SOG, Special Operations Group of Police launched in the dense forest of Mender Town in Poonch district to trace suspicious terrorist movement in the forest region. Earlier on February 13, the Army had dismissed reports of a ceasefire violation along the line of control, stating that the truce remains intact and is being upheld according to the understanding between the Indian and Pakistani armies. The ceasefire on the line of control is intact and continues to be observed as per the understanding between both the armies of India and Pakistan. Tension due to some stray incidents of cross line of control, firing and a suspended IED blast on one of our PTLs on the LOC is being dealt with through the established mechanism. No exchange of fire of heavy caliber weapons has taken place, the statement further read. The army further stated that minor incidents along the LOC are not uncommon and that concerns have been raised with the Pakistan army at the appropriate level. It assured that the situation remains stable, is being closely monitored, and that Indian forces maintain a high level of alertness while continuing to assert dominance over the LOC. At least 4 people were killed by Ukrainian drone strikes in 2 separate incidents in Russia's Belgorod region, regional governor Vyacheslav Gladkov said. In one incident, a woman was killed instantly by an attack on the car she was traveling in. 3 men were later killed in a similar attack. More Ukrainian drone attacks later injured 1 person and damaged 12 houses in Russia's Krasnodar region, said Governor Veniamin Kondratyev. Moscow's Ministry of Defense said 9 Ukrainian drones were shot down over the Sea of Azov and Russia's southern region of Krasnodar. The Ukrainian military said Russian launched 143 drones in an overnight attack, out of which 95 were shot down. A further 46 failed to reach their targets, the Air Force said. At least 1 person was injured and a critical infrastructure building caught fire in southern Ukraine's Mykolaiv due to overnight Russian attacks, said the region's governor Vitaly Fkin. Several houses in Kyiv were also damaged, the state emergency service said. A thermal power plant was damaged in the attacks on Mykolaiv, leaving tens of thousands of people without heating in below freezing temperatures. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal said. President Volodymyr Zelensky said at least 100,000 people were without power. According to Ukraine's military, Russian forces intensified their attacks in eastern Ukraine, mainly targeting the logistics hub of Pokrovsk. The military said it recorded 2 6-1 clashes within 24 hours. Viktor Trugobov, a spokesperson for Ukrainian troops in the Pokrovsk area, said he reclaimed a mining village near the city. A number of counterattacks by Ukrainian forces have had some success, he said, adding that they could already talk about the liberation of the village of Pishani. Moldova said 2 Russian drones violated the country's airspace again, just days after the Russian ambassador was summoned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs over a similar incident. Zelensky said he had instructed his ministers not to sign an agreement with the United States to supply rare earth minerals in exchange for previous and further U.S. aid. He also told the Associated Press news agency that the agreement did not protect Ukraine's interests. White House National Security Council spokesperson Brian Hughes, without confirming the offer made to Kyiv, said Zelensky was being short-sighted about the matter and that a mineral deal would allow U.S. taxpayers to recoup previous aid while also growing Ukraine's economy. Zelensky warned that Russia would wage war on NATO should U.S. President Donald Trump scale back support for the military alliance. He also said Trump had the leverage to push Russian President Vladimir Putin into ceasefire talks, but said Putin should never be trusted. Reuters reported that the U.S. asked European allies what they require from Washington to participate in Ukraine's security arrangements. According to the news agency, the demand had 6 points and questions asking which countries would contribute to the guarantees and which allies would be willing to deploy troops to Kyiv. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the upcoming days would determine Putin's seriousness about peace in Ukraine, adding that he spoke with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov regarding what he described as the difficult operating conditions of the U.S. Embassy in Moscow. Rubio also said the process towards peace could not be completed with just one meeting and that it would not be easy. While talks have been scheduled between Russia and the U.S. in Saudi Arabia, Rubio said he was not sure who Moscow was sending and added nothing has been finalized yet. That is all for today's news and have a pleasant evening ahead.